Hi everyone, it's Tom here from the WB Trading team. Now, today's video, you might be looking at the title and thinking, sounds a bit too good to be true, but essentially, I'm going to genuinely show you the backtesting method that I use side by side with my chart. We're going to do it on a completely new strategy. I've just developed a set of rules this morning, just plucked them out of thin air. So it's nothing that I prepared, nothing that I've tested before, completely fresh. I'm going to show you how simple it is to test the results and basically give you that idea and that inspiration to say, look, if you want to test a strategy, if you've got a set of ideas, this is how to approach it, this is how to test it, this is how to refine it. And hopefully you'll see that, backtesting doesn't have to be an arduous, difficult process. It's something you can do quickly, cleanly, and it can unlock some amazing results. So I won't go on anymore, guys. We'll jump straight in. We'll have a look at how I use my journal for this and basically how I record the results from a platform onto that journal to check how a strategy performs. Just very quickly before we dive in, if you're still struggling with your trading or you'd like to know more about how mechanical edges are traded, I've put together a free video course for you that will map out and explain everything in detail, along with walking you through exactly how the mechanical rules actually work. If you'd like to watch that after this video, I'll pop a link in the description. You can click through and you can watch that straight away. So let's talk through our journal setup to begin with. Now, as I mentioned, this isn't going to cover an existing strategy. This isn't anything I trade. This isn't anything as part of the WB trading team strategies. I'm just going to simply use this to present how I would test a strategy. And I've just come up with these rules basically today. So we're going to see the results live. We're going to go through. They might be terrible. They might be great. We'll find out. But what I always like to do at the top of a journal is to put some strategy rules in a box so I can tell when I come back to this, maybe after a few weeks or something, and when I go through it with other traders, it's easy for them to see. It's easy for me to see and recall what I've actually tested on this particular strategy. So for example here, what we've got is, I'm going to use a 15-minute chart. I'm going to find the first candle to change after 7 a.m. on the market. So for essentially, if we get a bearish candle at 7 a.m., if it closes as a bearish candle, the next bullish candle, I will take a trade in that direction. And also I will place a stop loss at the extreme of that entry candle. So if it's bullish, I'll place it at the low of the candle. If it's bearish, I'll place it at the high. Really basic rules here. Nothing overly complicated. The key point here is I want to kind of go through how we would set up a testing journal, how simple it is to test something like this. Now remember, in terms of the information, if you've seen one of the previous journal videos we've done, this will be familiar. We like to have the entry info here. So what market have you traded? Did we get an entry on that particular day? Entry time. You can also put a date box in here if it's going to help actually if you're doing intraday. So date, just to allow us to see, when did that trade occur? What time did it occur during the day? So it's easy to find that candle. The direction, obviously long or short here. Entry price, stop loss price. It'll then work out the distance, just a simple formula in there. And then obviously I can easily track through what's my 1R price, what's my 2R, what's my 3R. So did it achieve each of these? And we can just put this in here, did it achieve 1R? Yes, or maybe no. Obviously, if it didn't hit 1, we know it's not going to hit 2, 3, or 4. An alternative way to do this, which is why I've included this section at the end, and this is the way I kind of prefer to do it, but it takes a little bit more work to dig through. Maximum profit price. So basically, just measure down on the actual chart how far it got towards profit, what was the best profit price before it came back to hit stop loss. And again, just put a simple formula in here to work out what would be that maximum R. So now let's have a look. I'll split this up and we'll come back to looking at the journal against the chart, and we'll do a few tests to see how we fill this in and how the results look as well and what I would look at next. So now you can see we've got the screen split up between the journal here that we've been looking through, and I've just loaded up my platform to have a look at the Euro USD market on the 15-minute chart. So we'd start off by putting in here, I'm going to do basically a week's worth of trading. So we're going to start here on the 10th of October, on Monday. So in here, Euro USD, and that's going to be the 10th of 10th, 22. And did we get an entry? Well, let's have a look and let's see what direction. So we get a bullish trade, or we get a bullish candle, sorry, on our 7 a.m. So we're going to be looking for the first bearish. So we do get that because we get an entry next on a bearish candle, which is at 5 past 7. So, 15 minutes past 7. And our direction is short here. Our entry price is going to be on the close of this candle, So we're going to use 9730, and our stop loss, I'm going to put it a point above the high or the low of the entry candle itself. So this high is 9733, so we're going to do 9734.6. Might be quite tight in terms of a stop loss distance. We'd have to go through and have a look at this, and again, a proper forward test would tell you this. For now, I'm going to use this, and we'll have a look in terms of where this profit target went to. So if I go along to this first section, so 1 hour target would have been a 9725. So I find this on the chart, we can see that this was hit quite comfortably here on the first candle, didn't hit our stop loss, so we can mark that down as a yes. Then the second one, 2 hour, did it come down to 9720? It did there. Again, got a yes. 3 hour, 9716. Well, it's look like it's going to come down to this point here. And 4, it looks likely as well. It is. So again, it's exceeded our 4 hour, which is just kind of the numbers we've put in here. So what is the actual max profit that this has achieved? Well, we can see here that our stop loss would need to go just above here, about there. So where do we get to before this is hit? Well, the stop loss is hit there. So the lowest price it achieved was this candle here at 930, and that is the low of 9681. 9681. 0.6. Now again, this is a perfect scenario. Okay, 10.5 are. In reality, doing a forward test, we may not get in exactly the entry price, but this is going to give you a good idea. It's going to give you a good run through. So we've seen our first trading day. Let's have a look and repeat the trade rules on the next day. So we're going to go to Tuesday. I'll just delete that stop loss line. Find our Tuesday setup, which is here. So we get a bearish candle on Tuesday. So I'm just going to drag that down as well. Sorry, because it wouldn't work. And again, we get an entry. Again, we get bearish at 7, 8. Sorry, a red candle at 7. So we get the alternating bullish candle at 15 minutes past 7. So the next candle along. This time it's long. And our entry price is 9691.5 with a stop loss 1 point below the low of this candle. So 9681.8. And okay, slightly wider stop loss distance. Let's have a look at the first 4 results for the R. Well, we're going to just drag and mark on our stop loss zone there, 9681.8, which is just there. How far does it get? Well, we need to see, does it get to 9701? So 9701 is there, which is a yes. 9710, which is a yes there. 9720, which is a yes there. 9730, which it does get to again without hitting our stop loss line, and actually this gets quite a bit higher than that. So once again, go to our max profit, and that is 9774.8. 9774.8 goes in there, and that would be our maximum profit, just over 8.5 hours before it comes back down here to hit stop loss. So if we then have a look at the next day on Wednesday, we know we're still going to be on Euro USD. Let's find the Wednesday candle. Here is 7, so it's bullish. So, yeah, when you mark it on 12th of the 10th, 22. Correct entry. Now we don't get entry at 7:15 this time. It actually has to wait till 7:30. So 7:30. We're going to be short again. This is obviously a bearish candle. 9729 with a stop loss at 9734.1. Hopefully you can see now, just the kind of repeatable process and how quick it is to fill in these tests. But let's have another look through all this, see where the results get us to. 9734.1 there for our stop loss. Well, we look like we're going to drop down quite a bit here before it hits stop loss up there. So let's have a look. Now we'll do this a different way. What I'm going to do actually first is I'm going to measure out the maximum profit to see if we do achieve all these, then I can quickly fill these in. So the maximum profit we get, the lowest point is this candle here, halfway through Wednesday afternoon, which is, if I hover over it, 9667.9, and that gives us 11 R. So we know that we're going to hit 1, 2, 3. So this is just academic to fill these in. Then let's have a look if we go to Thursday, just to fill in the last 2 trades here for the day. Where's our 7 AM candle? It's here. So we get on the 13th. I know should fill these dates in a lot easier, and for the purpose of this, only doing a few examples, it should be okay. Thursday, 7 a.m. is a bullish candle. So the first bearish we get at 7:15, we're seeing that with a short direction, entry price of 9697.1 and a stop loss of 9710.3. So let's have a look through. We'll do the 1, 2, 3 hours, etc. I'll just mark on that stop loss once more, 9710.3, which is up there. And we see that 1 hour will be 9683. So this just misses out here. 9683 isn't achieved. So we know that's a no. Doesn't hit 1 hour, therefore doesn't hit 2, 3, or 4. We'll record the maximum profit just in case, but if it's less than 1 hour, we know that's not really going to be a viable trade for us. 9685.5 at 0.88, so just under 1 hour there. Let's do the final day of the week. Look through Friday. So 14th of the 10th, 22. We're likely to get entry, but we'll just double check. And where's our 7 a.m? Here it is. So yes, bullish at 7 a.m. So we see where our first bearish is. It's actually up here at 7:45. So wait a little bit longer on this particular day. Shorted again. And our price is our 9788.4 for an entry. And a stop loss at 9798 exactly. So let's see where that takes us to. Just the rounding out the week, 9798 is there. So mark it on down here. So we know it hits our stop loss there, but how low does it go towards profit? Well, we'll do the max profit check once more. We can see the lowest price we get is there at 12.45, which is 9709.1, and that's an 8.26. So we know it's comfortably 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. So it's given us a rough idea now of all our results. Let's have a quick look through these. If I just full screen this, come back to our journal. So now what we can do with this information is we can say, well, we know that for 5 days here, obviously a very small sample size, I would never encourage you to just do a week. I would want to look through this at least 6 months worth of data. But we can look through and say, well, we know we're going to get 4 hour of profit and 1 hour of loss here. So we can record that up there. You can put, say, 4 and then -1 and then work out the difference. For example, here, we know we've got 4 wins, so that would be 8, etc. We can do it all like this. I'm sure you can see what I mean by this. But we can also take this to say, okay, what's looking like a valid profit here? Is 8R a valid target? That's probably a little unrealistic, but it's worth exploring because, for 3 of the 4 days, we would have achieved 8R. For 1, we wouldn't, but we know we would have got stopped out at every possible opportunity there because we would never really look for a -1, less than 1R profit target. So over time, we're going to build up that analysis of saying, where's our maximum profit? What's going to be the best option there? And once we've decided that, then we can start looking at other impacts. What days of the week could we possibly trade? Is there any benefit on the direction? Is there any benefit of waiting on the entry time? If it takes too long for a trade, is it worth taking, etc.? So there's all these parameters that we can look around. But essentially, the purpose of this video is to show you how easy it is to set up a trade test like this, the key information that we need for our first test, and then what we can do to change parameters around once we have a good idea of results. And you can see that, okay, I've done a little bit of explaining, but a week's worth of data there has taken us a little under 10 minutes to look through. So it isn't an arduous process. It's not going to take you hours and hours and hours to do a few months worth of testing. That's the approach that I would recommend taking. And again, you might go down some dead ends. This might result in just a useless strategy. You might want to test this in other markets that just might have great results, might have really awful results, but we're not going to know without the testing. That's the first thing that we always need to do. So yeah, in terms of that, that's basically the setup approach that we would take. So there we have it. You might be thinking, that is too simple to be true, Tom. That can't be genuine. Honestly, that is the way that I test and have tested all of my strategies in the past. It doesn't have to be, columns and columns and columns of data that you collect. You can go back to that. You can certainly add information in. You can do multiple tests. That absolutely advise that. But to get an initial feeling for a strategy, to get an initial set of results, this approach is what you need. And you can see that it's doable over a short space of time. It's easy to collect that data, and visually it's very clear what the results are. And if you employ this approach, whatever strategy you're looking at, okay, you're not going to get amazing results on every strategy. You might have to tweak some parameters, but it's going to save you time, it's going to give you clarity, and it's going to give you hopefully the motivation to go out there and do some testing on those strategies that you maybe are sitting on. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that's helped. Any comments, any questions, anything you want to see on future videos, leave them in the chat below. More importantly, if you want to find out a bit more about how we test our strategies, how our strategies work, book a call with one of the guys, one of the team. Links are in the bottom in the description. Look forward to seeing you on the next call as well. Take care, everyone.